Hey guys, Simon here from Body Development Centre, and today I'm going to give you part two of my journey back to being lean. Now, you might have to forgive me slightly for looking extremely tired. I'll speak more about that in tomorrow's video, and also these big light boxes straight in my eyes really are not helping. But the first thing I'd like to do today is I wanted to give you a couple of pictures as to where I was at the beginning. So this was from a couple of days ago, and you can see, although it's not awful, it's a good three quarters of a stone above really where I want to be. Maybe up to about a stone if I want to go back to being very, very lean. Um, so obviously we can look at this and compare over the next couple of weeks to see how I've got on. But the thing I'd like to talk to you about today has been my reduction in consuming wheat and the effect that that's had on my weight. Because a lot of the time when I'm working with clients, and we find that there's very, very slow progress, and quite a lot of the time we find that that's down to their wheat intakes. That's things like pasta, cakes, bread, all these kind of items. Now, the reason these cause a problem is because our gut is not very good at processing wheat. We've only been eating wheat for, I believe it's about two, maybe 3,000 years. It's not a huge amount of time. And so our bodies haven't evolved very efficient processes to be able to break down and process and utilize the energy from wheat. Now, the reason this is the case is because a few thousand years ago, wheat wasn't very easy to harvest. When you knock the top part of the plant, the wheat used to fall apart, so obviously it could fall into the ground and create new plants. Then what happened is that there was a genetic anomaly. And so what happened with this particular strain of wheat is that when you knocked it, it didn't fall off. This meant it was a lot easier to harvest, which then meant people could process it and they could turn it into pasta, bread, and things such as this. So that's the reason that our bodies are quite bad at processing wheat, is they've just not had a very long time to evolve efficient steps to be able to do so. So what this means is that when we consume wheat, our body pulls lots of water into our gut to help with that process. And this is why quite often when you consume wheat, you find that you bloat up quite a lot. Now, the problem with this is that water is very heavy. So for every litre of water you drink, your weight on the scales will go up by a kilo or 2.2 pounds. So you can very quickly see that if you've been good all week, but then you drink a litre of water before you get onto the scales, that it will look like you've made no progress. But it's actually, in fact, the water is just hiding any progress that you happen to have made. So I cut wheat out because wheat, as any of my clients will know, is my vice. I absolutely love rolls, bread, pasta, all these kind of things. And I've been consuming a bit more recently than I would like to. I'd probably say at least half a stone of that three quarters has probably come from my wheat consumption. So I cut wheat out 2 days ago, and in 48 hours, my weight has dropped by about a kilo and a half, which is about 3.3 pounds. Now, I know this is due to the water retention because I found that I've been urinating a lot more over the last 2 days, which is basically my body dropping the water that it was retaining to try and help process with that wheat. So the lesson for yourself today is if you want to make easier progress with your weight loss goal, definitely try to cut wheat out or severely reduce the amount of wheat that you're intaking. By doing so, not only will you find your weight on the scales drops a lot easier, but you'll also find that you don't get hungry quite as fast because most types of wheat are processed very quickly, which means then you consume even less calories, which means then you can lose weight even faster. I hope these tips help as always. Obviously, if you haven't liked the page already, then give it a like because I'll be putting lots more of these videos up. where you'll be able to see more of my progress, which I'll try and mold round into tips and tricks that you can use as well. Thanks for your time, and I'll speak to you again soon.